Hello, everyone. Good evening. My name is Kimberly Hawes. I'm the managing news editor at Seacoast Current, which is part of Town Square Media in Dover. Welcome to the New Hampshire Press Association's 2020 Excellence in Journalism Contest Awards presentation. Before we begin tonight, I would like to say a few words about the Press Association. The NHPA is composed of more than 30 news outlets, freelance journalists, and supporting organizations. We are committed to defending the freedom of the press, the people's right to know, advancing the ethical standards of New Hampshire's journalism, and promoting cooperative relations among members of the New Hampshire press. Although the pandemic has slowed us down a little bit in our educational initiatives, connecting with college and high school students, we have maintained a strong presence lobbying for freedom of press issues in the New Hampshire legislature. And just last week, the NHPA board petitioned legislative leadership to continue the live streaming of legislative public hearings. And we've kept this great celebration going now for 2 years in a row virtually, despite all of these challenges. We are so thrilled you are joining us here tonight. We do hope that you interact with this broadcast with comments and responses to each other. Let's keep it positive, folks, and have some fun. And now I'll introduce Mike Cody. He is the senior editor, I almost said reporter, Mike, sorry, senior editor at the New Hampshire Union Leader in Manchester.
Thank you, Kim. Actually, reporter is probably the proudest term anybody could call me. Editor, yeah, not so much. Thanks a lot, Kim. Tonight we honor the outstanding achievements of New Hampshire's college and professional journalists as part of the Press Association's 2020 Distinguished Journalism Contest. For the second year in a row, we are broadcasting the winners live from the Nakey Loeb School of Communications in Manchester. And that means, yet again, I still owe somebody a drink. One of my colleagues bought me a drink the last time we met in person at the Institute of Politics at St. Anselm College. I'll tell you who it is later on in the program. Joining Kim and I behind the scenes, pushing the buttons are Jeff Forrester, photo editor of the Concord Monitor, Laura Simoes, executive director of the Loeb School, and Phil Kincaid, executive director of the New Hampshire Press Association. As Kim will explain in greater detail, for the 2020 contest, we sought to build upon the success of the 2018 and 2019 contests by refining categories and consolidating divisions to reflect industry changes over the past 3 years. We will be evaluating the consequences of those alterations when we set up the rules for the 2021 contest. However, our biggest challenge this year was, once again, dealing with the uncertainties and ramifications of the coronavirus pandemic. Before we started, I was talking about the ramifications of a bad haircut from my little pandemic razor I bought when I couldn't go to my salon anymore. That's what we've been dealing with. News organizations needed more time to submit their articles, their entries to judges needed more time to complete their evaluations. In the end, it all got done, and the results demonstrate that even in these difficult times, New Hampshire journalists continue to do great work. Thanks for taking time to watch us tonight. Please make use of the online comment section to support your fellow journalists. And now here's Kim Haas with more contest details.
All right, folks, before we begin our awards presentation tonight, I do want to give you some background information on how the contest was conducted. For 2020, the biggest change from 2019 was that we consolidated the professional awards from 4 to 2 divisions. Instead of dividing news organizations by their newsroom size and frequency, this time news organizations were separated only by their frequency. So that means daily and non-daily. This year, several categories saw a dramatic increase in entries over last year, such as a general news story with 53 entries. There were 45 feature story entries and more than 30 business entries. Overall, professional entries were down this year from 540 to 440. Last year, from 540 last year to 440 this year, but that's not surprising considering all of the circumstances. But it also means that the entries were clustered into fewer categories than last year. There were no changes to the college division, which saw a slight increase in entries. And unlike other press association contests that send blindly their entries to other state news associations for judging, we have comprised a pool of 35 to 40 trusted judges from around the country. So many of these judges are from New England, but we also include judges from places like New York, West Virginia, and Alaska. Please note, not all places were awarded in all categories and divisions. That is because of two reasons, and the first most important one being that there may not have been enough entries in a particular category or class, and the second reason may be that a judge decided not to give an award in a particular category or division. Judges were not obligated to give out any awards. If judges did not believe any of the entries in a category or division deserved first place honors, they could award second or third place only. And so, with those formalities out of the way, let's begin. There's a lot of great journalism to cover here tonight, folks. And our first category is feature story. In the college division, we have third place, Katie Hopler, The New Hampshire. Professor raps about fluid mechanics. Second place, Jasmine Tudvin, Jared Burnett, Main Street Magazine. The Neon Wheel Surfer. First place goes to Fiona McDonald, Main Street Magazine. I love Woody Harrelson. In the non-daily division, we have third place, Kathy Ragsdale, Business NH. Will New Hampshire stages go dark? Second place goes to John Angelo, New Hampshire Business Review. People of the Book, the literary treasures found and searched for in New Hampshire's used bookstores. First place goes to Abby Hamilton, Monadnock Ledger Transcript. Ringe Farm supplies the nation with rare dahlias. In the daily division, we have a third place, Roberta Baker, Laconia Daily Sun, with the magic of happy sounds. In second place, we have Paul Cuno Booth, Keene Sentinel. For 13 years, a transplant gave her a second life. Then she got COVID. In first place, we have Julia Ann Weeks with the New Hampshire Union Leader, New Hampshire's own uncomfortable truth. Our next category tonight, folks, is a feature photo. And I love a good photo. I try very hard to take good photos, and I'm blessed to have known so many great photographers, including the one who's in the room tonight, Jeff Forrester. We're very excited to share some of these photos with you tonight. In the college division, we have third place, Saran Franz, The Equinox, Babylon, Journeys of Refugees. Second place, Saran Franz, The Equinox, Brangelina. First place, Lauren Hellman, Main Street Magazine, with Fancy Clown. In the non-daily division, we have third place, Christine Kerrigan, Business NH, The Sassy Biscuit. Second place goes to John Angelo, New Hampshire Business Review. People of the Book, The literary treasures found and searched for. Oh, am I wrong? Feature photo, third place. Second place is, let's bring it up, Christine Kerrigan, Business NH, Business of the Decade, Palmer Gas and Oil. In first place, we have Jessica Arnold, Granite State News Collaborative, Homeless Man. All right. Okay, let me get myself together here, folks. I seem to have mixed up my notes. All right, so feature photo. And then what is our next category? Let's bring it up. Okay. In the daily division, we have third place, Deb Cram, Portsmouth Herald, thanking Vet for his service. In second place, we have Jeff Forrester from the Concord Monitor, Great Grandma is Home. And in first place in the feature photo category, we have Jeff Forrester. Look at that guy from the Concord Monitor. Beavers take up residency in the Lincoln Financial Corporate Pond. That's a great one, Jeff. All right. So our next category is going to be feature page. In the college division, we have third place, Tom Benoit, The Equinox, Arts and Entertainment. In second place, we have Kiana Joler, The Equinox, Student Life. And in the college division for first place feature page, we have Sadie Burgess, Kristen McDonald, Alyssa Doust, Main Street Magazine, Coffee for Freedom. For feature page, non-daily division, third place, we have Christine Kerrigan, Business NH, Will New Hampshire Stages Go Dark? In second place, for feature page, we have Christine Kerrigan, Business NH, The CBD Boom. And in non-daily division, first place for feature page, we have Christine Kerrigan, Business New Hampshire, Hotels Fine New Hampshire Hospitable. Congratulations, Christine. In the daily division, third place for feature page, we have Janice Carroll, Adam Drapcho, Laconia Daily Sun, King of Halloween. In second place for feature page, daily division, we have the staff of the New Hampshire Union Leader for New Hampshire Innovators. And for first place in the daily division and feature page is Tom Lynch of the New Hampshire Union Leader, The Allure of Our Lakes. And now I'm going to turn it back over to Mike.
Before I get to the next category, I'm going to share with you some proposed new categories for next year. Now, these have not been vetted by the association, so you're hearing them for the first time. And I'm going to sprinkle these throughout the evening. The first one, the David Lindstone Award. This award is presented to the reporter who has milked the greatest number of stories from a single subject in a given year. We love you, River Dave. Now on to the photo essay contest. In the college division, second place, Pooja Thapa for the Equinox for the story Keene State Cleaning Staff Continues Despite the Danger. In first place, Henry Hobson, also of the Equinox, for Campus Under Quarantine. In the non-daily class, second place, Katie Hawks, New Boston Beacon. 4, Halloween, the drive-by trick-or-treat. And in first place, Jan Weber, also of New Boston Beacon, for Peace and Justice Vigil. In the daily class, Jamie Giamatti, Bert Bachman, and Paul Klenk of the Conway Daily Sun for Messages. Second place, Stacy Harrison, Manchester Inklink, for Night to Shine, Prom, a Magical Experience for All. And in first place, Jeff Forrester, Concord Monitor, for Black Lives Matter protests. Next category, graphic cartoon illustration in the college division. Third place, Griffin L., The Equinox, for Canceled Spring Seasons. Second place, Alyssa Dowse of Main Street Magazine, for I'm Fixing, this is a song. I'm fixing to fire the tiny alchemist, running amok in my heart valves. Now I've just assaulted every Beatles fan. And in first place, I don't have a song, but we already sang for her. It's Alyssa Dust again, Main Street Magazine, for Make This Chaos Count. I promise that's the only time I'm going to sing. And the non-daily division, first place, Rob Donnelly, Christine Kerrigan, Business NH, for Loneliness in the Workplace. In the daily division, second place, Sarah Pleward, New Hampshire Public Radio, Where They Stand. And in first place, Peter Noonan, Manchester Inklink, Drawn and Quartered, political cartoons of Peter Noonan. In the entertainment reporting category that I've always loved to do on the side throughout my career. It's always fun to talk to people who do creative things, rock stars and other jazz musicians, people like that. College division, third place, Caitlin Howell, The Equinox, Happy Days is Coming. In second place, Shane Jositis, I believe, Christian McDonald for me of Main Street Magazine, for Finding His Sound, the Journey of a Young Artist. And in first place, Caleb Jagoda Davis Cole of Main Street Magazine for The Crank Tank. In the non-daily division, first place, Mark Vogler, New Boston Beacon, Movies, Milford Drive-In reopens. In the daily division, third place, Constance Charisse of Manchester Inklink, for Not the Words of One Who Kneels, the Unyielding Hazel Scott. In second place, Julia Ann Weeks of the New Hampshire Union Leader, for Getting Their Kicks. And in first place, Julia Ann Weeks, New Hampshire Union Leader, A Music Landmark Turns 50. And back to you, Kim.
Thanks, Mike. All right, so the next category is one that I really love, and I'll let you guys in on a secret. When I consume news, I always read the health reporting, and that was prior to COVID. When I get a daily newspaper, if I turn it to the doctors first, I'm not surprised that that's what I read and what I consume during my lunch period. So this is a category that I'm very excited to announce. I think there's been a lot of great health reporting here this year in the state of New Hampshire. In the non-daily division for health reporting, in third place, we have Cheryl Rich Kern, Business NH, Health Insurance Profits Surge with COVID-19. Second place goes to Kelly Birch, Granite State News Collaborative, As the Dust Settles, Looking at Telehealth Post-Pandemic. First place goes to Bob Sanders, New Hampshire Business Review, New Hampshire's Canadian Conundrum. In the daily class, Third place is Teddy Rosenbluth, Concord Monitor, Health, Coronavirus. In second place is a former colleague of mine, Kyle Stucker, of Foster's Daily Democrat, for his COVID-19 reporting. First place goes to Sean K. Wickham of the New Hampshire Union Leader, Alone in This Together. Just look at those pages. Beautiful. In business and economic reporting, which is also a very important category, I always enjoy writing a good business story because I learn so much about what's happening here in our great state. In the non-daily division, we have third place, Kelly Birch, Granite State News Collaborative, 50 businesses, 50 solutions. Second place goes to Cheryl Rich Kern, Granite State News Collaborative. Pandemic may have a crushing impact on women's long-term careers. First place goes to Bob Sanders, New Hampshire Business Review, COVID business and economy coverage. In the daily division, we have third place, Jonathan Phelps, New Hampshire Union Leader. The taps are still flowing. In second place, we have Michael Cousineau of the New Hampshire Union Leader for What's Working, Solutions for New Hampshire's Workforce Needs. And in first place, we have Ryan Lessard, Manchester Inklink, Brew News Spotlight, New Hampshire's craft beer community fights through COVID-19 disruption. Our next category is crime and court reporting. And as many of you know, I really do loving covering the court system. It's just something that is a lot of fun to me and very fulfilling. So I know it's a lot of hard work, and I definitely respect the journalists who do it on a very regular basis. In the non-daily class, we have first place, Barbara Tetro, the Berlin Sun, Fallen 7, case coverage. Such a sad story. In the daily division, we have third place, Jeff McEnemy with Foster's Daily Democrat, Dover police officer investigation. In second place, we have Tony Chanella, Merrimack County attorney drop ball on our cases, rape victims. And in first place is Jason Moon with New Hampshire Public Radio, inside New Hampshire's secret list of troubled cops. And now I'll turn it back over to you, Mike.
Thanks, Kim. And here's the second proposed category for next year. Best Accidental Team Coverage. This award goes to reporters who find out they are working on the same deadline story on the same day and manage to combine forces for the greater good. This is almost always the fault of an editor who messed up. And now, in the general news story college division, third place, the staff of the New Hampshire for the 2020 election coverage. Second place, Hunter Oberers, Pooja Thapa of the Equinox, for 11 RAs resign and more cases arise in the first 2 weeks. First place, staff of the New Hampshire for UNH coronavirus coverage. In the non-daily division, third place, Abby Hamilton, Monadnock Ledger transcript for Walden Eco Village evictions. In second place, Lisa Ryla, New Hampshire Business Review. Now is the time. Black Granite Staters call for a more inclusive New Hampshire. And in first place, Hillary Niles and John Bassett of the Granite State News Collaborative for Remote Learning Progress Report. In the daily division, Third place, Mark Hayward, New Hampshire Union Leader, for a suit over transracial adoption headed to New Hampshire High Court. Second place, again Mark Hayward, New Hampshire Union Leader, city ordered to rehire racist cop, status unclear. And in first place, Eileen O'Grady of the Concord Monitor for discipline and diversity. The next category is general news photo. In the college division, Soren France of the Equinox for candidate collage. Second place, Soren France again of the Equinox for college hockey. And the Triple Crown winner, Soren France, first place of the Equinox for The Real Virus is Fear. In the non-daily class, third place, Eric Anderson of the Bogue Times for Food Drive. Second place, Eric Anderson of the Bogue Times for Snow Day. And first place, Jen O'Brien, New Boston Beacon for Protecting Pollinators. In the daily class, third place, David Lane, New Hampshire Union Leader. Remote learning brings joy. Struggle for kids, teachers. In second place, Deb Cram, Foster's Daily Democrat. COVID patient leaves hospital. And in first place, David Lane, New Hampshire Union Leader, celebrating 99 years. And the young woman on the left in that photo happens to be one of my classmates from probably first grade all the way through high school. Back to you, Kim.
Oh, that's a nice memory, Mike. And I really like your category ideas here, especially this last one that you had where the reporters show up at the same place. It has definitely happened to me in my career. All right, our next category tonight is a special section. In the non-daily class, we have a third place, the staff of Business NH, cap and gown, a special report on higher education. In second place, we have the staff of New Boston Beacon. The New Boston Beacon is thankful for. And in first place, we have the staff of Business NH, Small Business Finance Guide. In the daily class, we have second place, staff, Conway Daily Sun, Kennett Graduation 2020. First place goes to Terry Levitt, Conway Daily Sun, To Your Health. Our next category is magazine cover, and we had some terrific entries in that as well. In the non-daily class, we have third place, Christine Kerrigan, Business New Hampshire, Business NH, for Let It Snow. In second place, we have Christine Kerrigan, Business NH, for COVID-19, an evolving reality. And in first place, and as Mike would say, a Triple Crown winner, is Christine Kerrigan. And she's joined this time by Rob Donnelly of Business NH for Business NH Magazine. And that is Loneliness in the Workplace. In the daily class for magazine cover, we have third place, Lee Garangi of the Conway Daily Sun for North Conway Fall. Look at that, beautiful. In second place, again, we have Lee Garangi, Conway Daily Sun for North Conway Summer. And in first place, we have Lee Garangi, Conway Daily Sun for North Conway Winter. So, Lee, the only season that you didn't win an award for is summer, maybe next year. Front page is something that is really meaningful to a lot of newspaper people. I don't think that many folks outside of the industry really understand how thrilling it is to watch a paper come off the press, and the smell of it when you first open it up is so exciting. But the most exciting thing is seeing what's above the fold, because you know that during quote unquote normal times, that's what people will be talking about around the water cooler at work. And you know that you're providing valuable information to those people to help them make their decisions, sometimes about their business or about their personal life. So for front page in the non-daily class, we have second place, Nadine Mannion, Bow Times, for their November front page. First place goes to Chris Speakman, New Boston Beacon, for May in 2020. In the daily class, we have third place, Matthew Burdett, Nashua Telegraph. We are there with you. In second place, we have Tom Lynch, New Hampshire Union Leader. COVID impact widens. Coronavirus impact widens. I apologize, Tom. And in first place, we have Matthew Burdett for Nashua Telegraph. And look at this one. It's a burning hot. And with that, I will give it back to Mike. Hopefully he has some more of his new categories for us.
Thanks, Kim. Next category is sports news. In the college division, third place, Cameron Beal, New Hampshire, for former Wildcat Prince Smith Jr. signs with the Philadelphia Eagles. Second place, Claire Boughton, Todd Benoit of the Equinox for turf gets put to the test. In first place, Claire Boughton of the Equinox for seniors standing strong. In the non-daily division, first place, Eric Fay, New Boston Beacon, Saddleback, Maine, New England's ultimate test. In the daily division, third place, Lloyd Jones of the Conway Daily Sun. Eagles cap off undefeated championship season. Second place, Mike Whaley, Foster's Daily Democrat. Spalding's first hoop championship is truly one of a kind. In first place, Lloyd Jones once again of the Conway Daily Sun for NHIAA cancels the rest of the winter sports season. And I do have a new category, proposed category for next year before we talk about the sports photos. It's called Best Use of a File Photo. This award goes to copy editors and page designers who managed to create a great centerpiece story with spare parts cobbled together from photo outtakes and archive art. We've all done it. And in the sports photo category, in the daily division, third place, Jeffrey Hastings, I Know I Can. Second place, Jeffrey Hastings again for Strong Men Pull for the Win. And first place, Jeff Forrester, Concord Monitor for Goal Stop. Now moving on to the sports feature division. In the college division, third place, Cameron Bell, the New Hampshire. Pop Lacey has sights set on the NFL after canceled UNH Pro Day. Second place, Matthew Holderman and Claire Boughton of the Equinox for A Season Like No Other. In first place, Cameron Beal in New Hampshire once again. The long road back to normalcy for UNH head coach Mack. In the non-daily division, third place, Keith Gentili, New Boston Beacon for hiking Crotched Mountain. Second place, Paul Robitaille of the Berlin Sun, Nakey becomes first woman to win Can-Am race. And in first place, Scott Gaylord of the New Boston Beacon for the emotional roller coaster of deer season. In the daily division, Tom King, Nashua Telegraph, Lasting Legacy. Second place, Tom King, Nashua Telegraph, Staying Sharp. And for first place, Steve Angers of the Conway Daily Sun for Bill Thompson Retires. Now for the sports feature photo category, daily division, first place, Jeff Forrester of the Concord Monitor for Dejected. And moving on now to the Sports Columnist of the Year Award. In the daily division, second place, Dean Shalhoub, Nashua Telegraph. First place, George Lizette of In-Depth, New Hampshire. And now in the sports page category, college division. Claire Bowden of the Equinox for Turf gets put to the test. Second place, Claire Bowden of the Equinox for 2019 highlights. Another Triple Crown winner here, Claire Bowden of the Equinox in first place for the faces behind the camera. Back to you, Kim.
I'm really enjoying all of Mike's suggestions. It made me realize, though, that we don't highlight the hard work that all of the editors do on a daily basis. So I want to thank you for all of the things that you folks do behind the scenes. It's one of those things where we don't always give the people the credit that they deserve. And of course, Mike is joking around tonight, but all of you editors out there, if you're watching, we appreciate you. I also hope, because I can't see what's happening on the Facebook side, but I also hope that some of you are also chiming in with your own special categories in a jesting manner, or even completely seriously. We'd love to hear from you folks. The next division that we're celebrating tonight is spot news photo, and it's something that is such a challenging division because getting a great spot news photo, sometimes it feels like a once in a lifetime thing. You're just there at the right time, and you happen to capture it, and in a really good way, like your camera's really working for you. So in the non-daily division, we have first place Eric Anderson of the Bow Times for Snow Day. In the daily division, third place, Jamie Giametti, Conway Daily Sun for West Side Garage, a total loss. And in second place, we have Jeffrey Hastings for Firefighters Battle Intense Vehicle Fire. Jeffrey, of course, is a very talented photographer. And in first place, again, we have Jeffrey Hastings for Woman Rescued from the Merrimack River. Our next category is Spot News Reporting. And in the non-daily division this year, we have first place, Alexander Lacasse, Exeter Newsletter. For Exeter, woman votes topless after anti-Trump shirt disallowed. I'm sure Alexander was not expecting to get that when he went out there that day. In the daily division, we have a third place, Kathy Staub, Manchester Inklink. Activists surround homeless camp on courthouse lawn. Second place, we have Tony Shanella. Shooting at Concord's Second Start School was a student suicide. Very sad. And in first place, we have Pat Grossmith, Stacey Harrison, Manchester Inklink. For man with Trump flag on truck drives by protesters outside police station, pulls gun, gets arrested. And now back to Mike for the announcement of the investigative story and series winners.
Before we get to that very serious and very important category, I have another proposed category. But this one's actually, I want to create this and just hand them out in the newsroom from time to time. It's called the Elevate Award. This goes to the reporter sent to cover a routine event that barely seems worthy of covering and transforms it into a front page story by sheer force of will. Great reporting, great writing. I've seen it, it's great to see. Sometimes it might be an event that we're sending a report to because we're sponsoring it in some way, or we don't have anything else going on, and they go and they come back with a great story. When you can do that as a reporter, it's always fun. There are no bad assignments, just bad storytelling. So that's what we like to celebrate. Investigative story and series. This is something that we don't see enough of. Some newsrooms have been able to do some of this work by collaborating or seeking grant funds to carve off time for reporters to do the kind of work that really is our bread and butter. It's the reason why people pick up the paper. It's the thing that we can provide that no one else will provide. In the college division, first place, Hunter Oberus of Equinox for New Hampshire Supreme Court rules unanimously in favor of Keene State journals. In the non-daily division, third place, Abby Hamilton of the Monadnock Ledger Transcript for Hancock. Town had cause to fire police chief. In second place, a follow the money story from Bob Sanders of New Hampshire Business Review. Where did the $40 million in COVID contracts go? And in first place, Ryan Lassard, Grant State News Collaborative for New Hampshire Police Departments use psych screenings inconsistently. In the daily division, third place, Kevin Landrigan, New Hampshire Union Leader. Affiliated PACs moved $100,000 to 10 New Hampshire candidates. Second place, Tony Shanella. Concord School District releases lung sexual misconduct report. First place, Todd Bookman, New Hampshire Public Radio. New Hampshire towns pay millions to settle claims against police. Details often hidden from public. In the editorial writing category, another great art form. In the non-daily division, second place, Matthew Mowry, Business NH. First place, Charles G. Douglas III of the Bow Times. In the daily division, third place, Matthew Burdett, Nashua Telegraph. Second place, Bill Bilodeau, the Keene Sentinel. In first place, Roger Carroll, Laconia Daily Sun. And back to you, Kim Haas.
All right, folks. Our next category this evening is for a podcast. And I've got to tell you, I always enjoy listening to podcasts, but I had never had the opportunity to do one until this year. And I did a limited series for the Community Alliance for Teen Safety in Derry, which focused on the pandemic and how it affected youth here in the Granite State. And I've got to tell you guys, it's a lot of hard work. It really made me appreciate all that goes into creating some of these podcasts that we will be celebrating here tonight. In the daily division, we have second place, Lauren Schulian, Jack Rodolico, staff of New Hampshire Public Radio for Stranglehold. In first place, we have Jason Moon, Lauren Schulian, New Hampshire Public Radio, Document the List. The next category is podcast reoccurring. And in the daily division, we have third place, Roger Wood, In Depth and H for the Roger Wood podcast. In second place, we have Keith Spiro of in second place, we have Nick Capodice, Hannah McCarthy, and Jacqueline Hilbert for New Hampshire Public Radio's Civics 101. And in first place in the daily division, we have Sam Evans Brown, Taylor Quimby, And Justine Paradise for New Hampshire Public Radio's Outside In. All right, and the next category tonight is best use of social media. That has become so important to us as an industry as we continue to connect with our audiences in different ways. In the college division, first place is Emma Bishop for the Equinox's Facebook page. In the daily division, we have third place, staff of New Hampshire Public Radio for Vote 2020. In second place, we have Keith Spiro of Manchester Inklink for Communicast Bridges the Gaps Between Print and Public Interest. And in first place, we have the crew from WMUR, Casey Downey, Kirk Enstrom, and James Lally for utilizing social media to connect with audiences during COVID-19. And they really do a great job over there. Congratulations, guys.
Thank you, Kim. And before I call off the category for best use of audio, here's the final proposed category of the night, and it's kind of audio related. We have a new phone system at the Union Leader, so whenever we get a voicemail, we also get a transcription. It's always fun to read the transcriptions because they're always so far off of what the people said, but you get the gist of what they said. So based on that, this is the Speech to Text Award. This goes to the best catch by an editor or copy editor in a story by a reporter who is using speech to text software. And what I'm about to read to you is a real one that came through once. The reporter meant to write special exemption. What the story said, sexual expedition. And in third place in the daily division for best use of audio, Sean Hurley, New Hampshire Public Radio. Is a beautiful New Hampshire hike still a beautiful hike right now? Or are people throwing junk all over it? In second place, Sean Hurley of New Hampshire Public Radio. It was almost a year without a Santa Claus. And in first place, Lauren Chulgen of New Hampshire Public Radio for Pandemic Diaries, one couple story of isolation and love in a nursing home. And now for best use of audio in the daily division. Third place, Casey McDermott, New Hampshire Public Radio. How one campaign is organizing an often overlooked New Hampshire voting bloc, immigrants and refugees. In second place, Todd Bookman and Sarah Gibson, New Hampshire Public Radio. Black Lives Matter holds Day of Action at New Hampshire State House. In first place, Todd Bookman, New Hampshire Public Radio. When Ice Castle's attraction melts, where does water go? Neighbor alleges straight into her basement. Best use of video in the college division. Second place, Benadryl Rye of the Equinox for Pumpkin Palooza. And in first place, also Benadryl Rye of the Equinox for music tech major Pedro Paez. In the daily division, first place, the Civics 101 team, New Hampshire Public Radio, for Black Heritage Trail of New Hampshire Graveyards. Best use of video in the college division. Third place, Benadryl Rye of the Equinox for U.S. elections. In second place, also Benadryl Rye of the Equinox for KSC SBDI Club makes boxes from trash. And another Triple Crown winner, Benadryl Rye of the Equinox for KSC students share their experiences during COVID-19 pandemic. And now back to Kim for the calmest of the year.
Thanks, Mike. Now, we've been at it for almost an hour, and we are getting into some of our major categories. So make sure you have a fresh glass of wine or whatever you may be drinking, and keep your bites right there. You don't want to be getting up towards the end of this show tonight. Columnist of the Year is a first major category. And in the college division, we have a first place, Angelique Unrutia, the Equinox. In the non-daily division, we have third place, Dr. Richard E. Johnson, Bow Times. Second place is Chase Binder of the Bow Times. And first place is Keith Gentili, New Boston Beacon. In the daily division, we have third place, Joanna Carter for Conway Daily Sun. And in first place this year, we have a tie with this evening's own host, Mike Cody of the New Hampshire Union Leader, and Nate Graziano for Manchester Ink Link. Not bad, Mike. All right. The next category is Photographer of the Year. And as you've seen some really great images, you can imagine the competition was really tough this year. I would hate to have been a judge to decide this one. This is a single award combining all news organization classes, so I'll let you know that right off the bat. In second place, we have Jeffrey Hastings. In first place, we have our own Jeff Forrester of the Concord Monitor. Great job, gentlemen. And now, back to Mike.
Now for excellence in collaboration and partnership. This honor is awarded to newsrooms and media companies who have formed partnerships or collaborations to cover a topic or story of significance to their communities. It's a single award and it combines all news organization classes. We have a tie for second place. Eileen O'Grady, Teddy Rosenbluth of the Concord Monitor, partnership with Report for America and community supporters Daniela Ali, Corey Princell, Patricia McLaughlin, New Hampshire Public Radio, and NHPR, Caje de Nuevo, New Hampshire. In first place, Grant State News Collaborative Partners for COVID coverage. For community service, and this is one of those franchise subject areas that, you know, what we do, right? What we do local is the most important thing that our readers see. It's how we connect with communities. It's what sets us apart from other media. In the non-daily division, in first place, Matthew J. Mowry and Christine Kerrigan of Business NH for the Business NH magazine Small Business Survival Guide. And as most folks know here, small business is what runs our state and what runs the country. In the daily division for third place, Sean K. Wickham, the Hampshire Union Leader for What I Miss. In second place, Jack Rooney and Meg McIntyre of the Keene Sentinel for Pandemic Parenting. And in first place, Roberta Baker, Laconia Daily Sun, Perfect Poison Lingers in New Hampshire Homes. First Amendment Award. This is a single award combining all news organization classes. Again, one of the most important things that we do. In third place, Mark Hayward and the Union Leader editorial staff for Police Discipline Hearings Closed to Public. In second place, Rick Green, Laconia Daily Sun. And in first place, we have a tie with the Concord Monitor, pushing for public access to Perkins Report, and Charles G. Douglas III of the Bow Times for Bow No Vote of Confidence. And back to you, Kim.
All right, folks. So, with these next few categories, I meant to get some of the judges' notes to read them off during this section, and I didn't get the chance to. So, I'm going to ask us all just to take a moment, and I know you're all at home, it might feel weird, but maybe we could do like a nice round of applause for the winners because they certainly deserve some extra recognition for what they do. In general excellence radio, we have the first place award this year going to New Hampshire Public Radio. Ooh. And Mike just saved the day. He did grab some of these. For New Hampshire Public Radio, the judge said, solid local journalism anchored with strong voices from New Hampshire communities. Todd Bookman's story chronicling a homeless camp and the lack of good solutions for a persistent issue was a particular highlight, with residents of the camp expressing a nuanced view of their situation and the community's response. Well, if that doesn't deserve a round of applause, I don't know what does. So, good job, New Hampshire Public Radio. In General Excellence Magazine, we have the first place award this year going to Business NH. The judge writes, a very nice publication, solid reporting and writing. It doesn't take itself too seriously and does a nice job of informing, providing rankings and resources. Loved the number crunch. Makes me wish my state had something comparable. So congratulations, Business NH. Good job. For General Excellence Digital Presence, in the college division, we have a first place, the Equinox. All right, the judge says here that congratulations to all who participated in the creation and design of this outstanding website. Informative, attractive, easy to navigate, which is super important, with quick access to social media accounts. Some New Hampshire newspaper websites could learn or thing or two here. Well, great job to everybody over at the Equinox. Let's give them a round of applause. In the daily division, in third place, we have the New Hampshire Union Leader. And the judge here says, this site is getting better year after year. Oh, that's some really nice compliment. Some confusing navigation, but visually appealing. So great job to the folks over at the New Hampshire Union Leader and unionleader.com. Second place in the daily digital division is Manchester Inklink. For Manchester Inklink, the judge said, great site, organization, and layout. This is what a hyper-local site should look like. So great job to Carol and her team over at Manchester Inklink. I'll give them a round of applause. And in first place for General Excellence Daily Presence in the Digital Presence in the Daily Division, we have New Hampshire Public Radio. And the judge says, this site gets high scores for each of the categories criteria. I love the breadth of coverage on the site and the balance of the various media, podcast, video, copy, etc. A great job, folks, at New Hampshire Public Radio, and you certainly deserve this round of applause. All right. And the last category that I have before turning it back over to Mike is a general excellence for a daily newspaper. In third place, we have a college newspaper. In second place, we have Main Street Magazine. And next up is first place with the Equinox. Great job, folks. Great job. All right. And then let me read some of the things that the judges said about first Main Street Magazine and then the Equinox. For Main Street Magazine, the judge said the Main Street Magazine staff is the first to admit the publication is not a newspaper in a traditional sense. Yet it deserves recognition in this category for the creativity and enthusiasm it brings to its pages and the University of New Hampshire community. An extraordinary outlet for writers, photographers, artists, and designers. Let's give the folks at Main Street Magazine a nice round of applause. And in first place, like I said, was the Equinox. The judge says that the Equinox is a complete college newspaper covering news, student life, the arts, sports, opinion, and, as you would expect in the first in the nation primary state, politics. Good writing, good photography, good design. Congratulations to everyone at the Equinox. Let's give them a round of applause. All right. So then the next category is a general excellence for a daily newspaper. In third place, we have the Berlin Sun. Oh. In non-daily news, yes, the Berlin Sun. This paper has a great sense of its community and is not afraid to tackle some challenging issues. Fun to see so much of the community represented on its pages in one form or another. So great job to the folks over at the Berlin Sun. Let's give them a round of applause. In second place, we have New Boston Beacon. And the judge for New Boston Beacon says what a local newspaper should be, from hard news and features all the way down to space devoted to local churches. And so many ads. Great comment by the judge. Let's give them a round of applause over at the New Boston Beacon. All right, and in first place in the category of general excellence, non-daily news, we have New Hampshire Business Review. And the judge says, very sleek design, packed with solid content and commentary. So great job to the folks over at New Hampshire Business Review. Let's give them a well-deserved round of applause. All right, now the category I was trying to skip ahead to earlier. It was general excellence for a daily newspaper. And this year, in third place, we have the Nashua Telegraph. And there's that burning hot photo again. All right, and the judge says, another solid entry with a nice variety of local coverage. Great to see the history features and the many letters to the editor, which indicates to me that readers are very engaged with the paper. So great job, Nashua Telegraph, engaging with your communities there in the southern part of the state. Let's give them a round of applause. In second place is Concord Monitor. All right. And the judge says, I was very impressed with the Monitor. Consistently strong leads, a great design and use of photos, a good mix of topics in local coverage, a paper I would want to be getting at my doorstep. Now, if that's not a great compliment, I don't know what is. Hold on to that one, you guys, and congratulations. All right, and first place in general excellence daily newspaper, we have the New Hampshire Union Leader. And the judge says, boy, this was a tough category. It was a pleasure to read through the entries, each of which had their strengths and must be highly valued by their readers, or should be. I thought the union leader had it all: story reporting, writing, judicious use of photos, a clean design, and practical information that I'm sure readers find invaluable. Well done, union leader. Let's give them a round of applause. And now, back to Mike.
Thank you, Kim. This is a fun part for me. Before we honor this year's Lifetime Achievement Award recipient, we'd like to take a moment to recall our most recent Lifetime Achievement honorees. And all but one of these folks I've worked with. I've only been in the New Hampshire market for about 9 years. I've worked in Colorado and Florida. I'm from New Hampshire, but only recently I came back here. In 9 years, I'm still a newbie. So the people that I'm about to talk about are folks who have spent most of their careers here. And the only one I don't know is Dean Loeb, and I'll talk about him a little bit of the Nashua Telegraph. Everybody else are people that I work with at the union leader, and I know with any one of them, I could ask them about a particular subject, turn the recorder on my phone and just record it. We could print it and add some quotes. You know, I do this with Kevin Landrigan on a regular basis. First off is John DeStaso, political reporter now for WMUR-TV, where he leads the New Hampshire Primary Source newsletter. Before moving to WMUR in 2014, John spent 24 years covering the State House and politics at the New Hampshire Union Leader. Nancy West, editor of InDepthNewHampshire.org and founder of the New Hampshire Center for Public Interest Journalism, also a former New Hampshire Union Leader reporter who has won countless awards for her reporting. When I started at the paper, both those folks were still there and got to work with them. Former New Hampshire Union Leader publisher Joseph McQuaid, who was very involved in my hiring to join the Union Leader 9 years ago. His leadership brought the newspaper into the digital age, made sure the people of Greater Manchester and New Hampshire were kept informed and connected. And if you noticed our Excellence Award, it happened to be the Union O Leader edition, which we always publish on St. Patrick's Day. This year it happened to be a day where we were reporting all the chaos that had happened the day before as the pandemic shut down restaurants. Dean Loeb, who is senior reporter for the Nashua Telegraph, started his journalism career at the Telegraph in 1971 as a high school junior. And to this day, his reporting reflects the heart and soul of the city. Now from 2020, veteran State House and political reporters Kevin Landrigan of the New Hampshire Union Leader and Gary Rayno of In-Depth New Hampshire, who also had a long career at the Union Leader. A graduate of Keene State College, Kevin worked for the Nashua Telegraph for 26 years, starting out as a sports reporter. He later worked for NH1 before moving to the Union Leader, where he leads the newspaper's legislative coverage. Kevin and Gary are people with, and Nancy and Joe and John, their depth of knowledge and their collective history of New Hampshire is just super impressive. Gary Rayno started his journalism career in 1983 at the Argus Champion's New London office. He was editor of the Hillsborough Messenger and served as Rochester bureau chief and State House bureau chief for Foster's Daily Democrat before moving to the Union Leader. He now directs the State House coverage for InDepth.org. And also in 2020, a staple of New Hampshire journalism for more than 40 years, David Terrell-Wasaki of the Associated Press, and later as the executive director of the Nakey Loeb School of Communications, which he recently retired from. And now, with Kim, this year's Lifetime Achievement recipients are.
All right. Well, I mean, I have to say before we get to this year's Lifetime Award recipients, I have so much respect for all of the people Mike just mentioned. I've been fortunate enough to work with most of them as well, and they're all very special individuals. I hope you're all watching tonight, especially you, Dave. We're coming to you from your school. We miss you. Laura's doing a great job, and we're so thrilled that she's allowing us to be here tonight. Our new Lifetime Achievement Award winner. All right, folks. Tonight, we are happy to announce 2 additions to the New Hampshire Press Association's list of Lifetime Achievement Award winners. The first is editorial cartoonist for more than 40 years, Mike Marland. Over the years, Mike has drawn cartoons for 11 newspapers from all over the state, starting out at the Littleton Courier. Mike spent the bulk of his career, almost 30 years, skewing politicians for the Concord Monitor, and while officially retired from editorial cartooning, he still submits occasional visual commentaries to indepth.h.org. Marlin continues to draw a rural humor comic strip, RFD, which is syndicated by King Features Weekly Service and is the main gag writer for the long-running King Features daily comic strip, Barney, Google, and Snuffy Smith. Mike is simply one of the best known, most respected, most revered journalists in the state. He doesn't roam the state house halls in sneakers like Kevin Landrigan does, but make no mistake, he knows more about state government, its officials, and all of their particularities than just about anyone. And he can synthesize complex situations in a drawing and maybe just a word to do, which is just an incredible gift. I don't think any of us can really wrap our heads around that. Mike generated more than a few controversies, though, over the years, like 5 months after 9/11 when he portrayed President George W. Bush flying a plane into the Twin Towers. That was labeled Social Security and Medicare. The image caused an uproar from readers, national media outlets, and even the White House itself. Now, he apologized, but later concluded, nah, I can draw about whatever the hell I want. A New Hampshire native, Mike grew up in Lyman and attended Lisbon High School, where he was a big fan of Mad Magazine and inspired by political cartoonists like Herblock and Jeff McNally. When he announced his retirement, Marlin said he was kind of burned out. Quote unquote, I'm finding it harder to come up with a fresh take on New Hampshire's unfair tax system for the umpteenth time, for instance, or the latest crop of pompous gun nuts. Also, it's hard to make fun of people who portray them as evil or idiots when they're actually evil or idiots to begin with. A parody may be dead. And that's the end of his quote. Mike Pride, the former Concord Monitor editor, calls Merlin an institution in this state. He says, quote, I love the characters that he did of people in power. He just had a way of portraying them that were so true to who they were and what they look like. Jeff Feingold, editor of New Hampshire Business Review, said, Mike is literally one of a kind in New Hampshire. Quote, in all my years as a journalist here, no one has been able to do the things he has in the way that he has. Mike is fearless and funny and can draw with the best of them, the most important attributes of any great cartoonist. Let's please have a round of applause, maybe a standing ovation out there, folks, for Mike Marlin. All right. Now, our second Lifetime Achievement winner this year is a 4 decades newspaper veteran from the Lakes region, Mike Mortensen. And there he is. Said his former managing editor at the Laconia Daily Sun, Roger Carroll, Michael Mortensen is probably New Hampshire's journalism's best kept secret. For more than 40 years, he's been plying his craft with his own brand of humble professionalism, which has kept him off of most people's radar. Carol continues, working with Mike is a privilege. He's highly respected, revered even in the Lakes region. He is a consummate team player who understands that it's the details that matter in our business. He spells everyone's name right, nails the facts, and asks delicate questions in a way that elicit thoughtful answers. True signs of a great journalist. Mike was at the Laconia Citizen from 1979 to 2011, where he covered municipal government and general news assignments. He later worked as a wire editor, regional news editor, editorial writer, and managing editor. That's right, folks. He did it all, covering everything from fires and police calls to city government and the presidential primaries. During his time at the Citizen, the paper 3 times received the Newspaper of the Year award in 1991 and 1993 when Michael was regional news editor, and in 2001 when he was a managing news editor. And last year, he actually shared a New Hampshire Press Association award for breaking news. Thomas Caldwell, fellow editor at the Laconia Citizen, said, quote, Mike embodies the best in journalistic integrity, always striving to get both sides or all sides of a story. He never hesitated to get out on the street and knock on doors to reach those who might have had a perspective to share, and always encouraged other reporters to do the same. In editing stories, he could immediately pick up on the buried lead or a missing fact and make sure it got incorporated into the report. Whether editing obituaries or writing editorials, Mike has always taken a keen interest in the people in the news, giving everyone their due while also holding them accountable. That goes for the reporters he mentioned, giving strict guidelines but always in a supportive manner. Oh, he mentored. I said mentioned. I apologize for that, Michael. The young reporters that Michael counseled always expressed appreciation for his help. In addition to his newspaper work, Mike has served on the board of the Laconia Endowment Educational Foundation, has sung in the New Hampshire Music Festival Symphonic Chorus, and currently serves on the vestry of Trinity Episcopal Church in Meredith. Mike is the kind of journalist who is always willing to volunteer for unexpected assignments and make the extra phone call to unearth the details to make a story better. And for your work, we salute you. Let's give Mike a round of applause. Now Mike Cote will be presenting Journalist of the Year.
Thank you, Kim. It's my pleasure to announce our final award of the night, Journalist of the Year. It's an award to the reporter, editor, or newsroom staffer from any news organization whose year-long achievements reflect the best journalism in the state. It is a true honor to receive any one of the 3 following awards. And our 3rd place winner is Tony Shanella. Said the judge of Tony's work, Tony Shanella's comprehensive story style and sentence structure are impressive. His attention to detail and background add to the quality of the work. Shanella answers all the reader's questions and provides a complete article. Congratulations, Tony. And in 2nd place, Roberta Baker, Laconia Daily Sun. Said the judge of Roberta's work, Roberta Baker's articles give voice to all sides of an issue. Life is complicated, so Baker helps the reader work through the issues. You feel informed after reading Baker's articles. That is the job. Well said. Congratulations, Roberta. And this year's New Hampshire Journalist of the Year is Carol Robidoux, Manchester Inklink. Said the judge of Carol's work, thanks to the articles by Carol Robidoux, I know Lexi and Brandon and of their struggles. I know Wesley's story. I wonder how they are doing today. What more can a journalist do than tell a story and bring it to life? Carol gives the reader plenty of facts and figures, but more importantly, she also introduces the people that data represents. And Carol, if we meet in person at the New Hampshire Institute of Politics next year, I will finally buy you that drink I owe you from 2 years ago. The judges said this of all the entries. This was an outstanding group of journalists. In more than 20 years of judging, I have never enjoyed reading the entries more than this class. New Hampshire Press can be very proud of its journalists. Back to you, Kim, for the closing.
Now, if that doesn't give you guys all the feels, I don't know what will. I do love this event because it reinvigorates me, and I hope it reinvigorates all of you to be and you're inspired to push further and do more and be more creative out there. I know you all have it in you. It's been a really tough year, but we can make it. We can make it, folks. I know we can. And so with that, that's our presentation for tonight. I would like to thank Mike Cote from the New Hampshire Union Leader for joining me, Jeff Forrester of the Concord Monitor for running the slideshow, Phil Kincaid of the New Hampshire Press Association for handling the cameras, and Laura Simos of the Loeb School for providing us the opportunity to broadcast from here this evening. Now, before I wrap up completely, we do have a special presentation for Phil. I'm going to have Howard come up and introduce it.
Thank you. And Kim and Mike and Phil and Jeff and Laura, beautiful ceremony, and congratulations to all the winners. I'm Howard. I'm the president of the New Hampshire Press Association, and this is a bittersweet moment for us because this will be the last awards ceremony that our executive director, Phil Kincaid, oversees. And Phil has begun to slowly retire from the incredible leadership that he's shown since 2017, when he basically rescued the New Hampshire Press Association. I think it's fair to say that the Press Association as it exists today exists because of Phil Kincaid. He had retired from his role as executive editor at the Nashua Telegraph after spending countless years at Foster's Daily Democrat as well. And Jonathan Van Fleet and David Brooks hit upon the idea of disturbing his slumbers and to see if he might serve as the Press Association's executive director. And happily, Phil said yes and set about visiting every newsroom in the state to drum up support. And he revived the contest that we have here tonight. He did it in person, and we all remember what a great ceremony that was a few years ago when we could all be in person together. But this is no mean feat either to, oversee a technological ceremony like this. And so, kudos on that. Every committee there is, he participates in, monitoring legislation, launching educational initiatives, forming partnerships. He helped us draft an extensive rewrite of the bylaws, which may be the most difficult thing that any nonprofit organization can do. And we'll have a vote on those tomorrow, and we'll see how it goes. And when the going got tough, he managed to ease the tension with his famed sense of humor. Everyone you talk to who talks about Phil talks about how whatever newsroom he's been in, he's managed to bring a lightness. And, newsrooms can get heavy from time to time, and Phil's a very funny guy, and it's been very appreciated. One anecdote that I read as I was thinking about what to say tonight was back in 1995 when Phil approached Bob Foster, who owned Foster's Daily Democrat, about starting a website in advance of the 1996 primary. And his pitch was, I think this web thing is going to be big, which is very funny now. But when you think about it, that was 3 years before Google launched. So, Phil has a very good sense of where the puck is going to and getting there to meet it just at the right time. Today, there are more than 30 news organizations, which include traditional print, digital only, radio, television, and Phil has built a thriving organization that does an outstanding job of representing New Hampshire's working journalists and news organizations, and we all owe Phil a debt of gratitude for sharing his time and talents with us. Tonight's not the last goodbye. He's committed to stick around with us for a bit while we search for a new executive director, but it is the first goodbye, and we thought it appropriate, and by we I mean the New Hampshire Press Association Board of Directors, to publicly thank Phil for his service to all the ink-stained wretches of New Hampshire. So thank you, Phil, and if you wouldn't mind coming up, this is the only way we can get you on camera. We hope you will accept this editorial cartoon, wrangled by Mark Garang of the Suns, and produced by Dennis Reno, who is one of their cartoonists, and I think you'll find the image appropriate. Super Phil.
That's great. That's very, very nice.
Yes, with his suitcase, because Phil is going to be doing some traveling, and we also have some gas money for you for wherever for wherever your travels will take you.
Yeah, I just want to say that none of this could happen if there was not an incredible spirit of journalism in this state. And anything that I've done has been accomplished because of all the other people who believed in journalism and believed in New Hampshire journalism. So this is really something that everyone should be proud of, because I was once asked not that long ago about someone from the national scene asked me, how would you describe New Hampshire journalism today? And I said, for all of the issues that we faced, for all the problems there is an undying spirit of journalism that lives in this state that should be celebrated.
Absolutely. Well, I know I speak for everybody. Thank you, Phil.
Thank you. And Howard, it's been great working with you.
Yeah, we really appreciate everything,
Right,
and
great.
don't go away too fast. We still need you.
I understand.
Yeah, and show everybody the editorial cartoon so they can see it at home.
There he is. Super Phil.
Aww,
Great.
Super Phil.
Kim, you wanna say
Thank you.
good night?
Thank you, Howard. Thank you, everybody. And a really special thank you to Phil. I'm not gonna get myself all worked up over it right now. So as we end, you just heard out of Phil's own mouth that we have an incredible spirit of journalism here in New Hampshire. Let's keep that going as we march forward together in our new normal. Like I said, we can do this. And as we wrap up, congratulations to all the winners. And thank you for continuing to do such great work. Let's hope that we do get to have a real life party in 2021 together. I miss all of you and can't wait to see your faces in person. But until then, thank you for your time tonight. And remember, we will be accepting entries for the 2021 Distinguished Journalism Contest in December. Once again, my name is Kimberly Hawes. Have a great night.